All right, so I think we might start. I know that Boya, if that's the name correct, I've not messed the pronunciation up, is coming in a few moments, and I think a few other people like Tux from the first cohort will jump in soon as well. Um, but yeah, because yeah, Vitaly we haven't met yet, and Waragwag, excuse me. We met a few weeks ago. But just as a recap, yeah, my name's Harry. I do the art documentation for Elsie from the Edicurial Collection. So Elsie is a private collector and she invests in emerging and established artists in crypto art. And she really invests in artists, particularly from the vertical crypto art cohort as well. And she's really keen in documenting everything about the artists and the makers who are making this in this space so exciting. And that's what I do. And whenever I do any of these critiques, it's always a pleasure to see all of your artworks, and everyone is so like vastly different from each other. And um, oh, hello, Felipe's here. That's awesome. Um, yeah, so every artist is vastly different, and with the critique, we really do get a lot of interesting responses in regards to your artwork, and we normally do it in 12-minute slots. So the first 3 minutes are dedicated to just looking at the artwork that you give to me to share on the screen, um, and nobody makes any noise. And then after 3 minutes are up, the artist has to be a bit quiet whilst the group talks about what they see in front of them, what they think the message is behind the piece of work. Um, and then after those 3 minutes are up, the artist comes in and explains what the piece is actually about and whether our observations were any good. And finally, we give some constructive feedback to the artist, and that's what a critique is. But critiques are very exciting things, and they're very quick. And people who have done this already know that it's just a really fun, casual thing. So don't worry about it being stressful because it really isn't. It's all for art. But yeah, I've said a lot of words. Um, would anybody like to start? Um, if you do, then you can send me a link, like just DM me, and I'll share my screen. But yeah. If not, I can just pick somebody if they don't mind. But
Morning, everyone.
hey, Felipe, how are you?
Doing good too.
That's cool. That's cool. And yeah, glad you can join us today.
Thank you, thank you, everyone, for being here, and you as well, Martin. It's cool. It's amazing to participate on these critiques. It's very exciting. I'm excited also today.
Thanks. That's awesome.
Last
Uh,
time was so dope.
thanks. Yeah, I had so much fun. It was only like 3 days ago. But yeah, yeah. Okay. Vitaly, I feel like I'm excited to see your work because we haven't met yet. I don't know how you feel. Do you want to go first, or I mean,
Yeah, that's okay. Let's start with me.
yeah, please. So if you could just like you can either put it in the cohort group chat or just send it to me
Okay,
privately. And yeah,
okay. I put it in the second cohort.
cool.
It's
Thank
it.
you. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get this up. Feels weird going to object.com instead of HK but cool. Let me share my
Yeah.
screen.
I've just sent this link because Hikatnank doesn't work, doesn't
Yeah,
load it properly, so it
yeah,
should be faster this way.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, let me just. Whoa. Okay. Yes. So, here we've got a few new people. Do we have a few new? Let me check. Oh no, that's just my Discord. All right. So, I propose we give this 3 minutes, just looking at it, making notes, and yeah, we'll check in after 3 minutes. So yeah, starting now.
Harry, just want to say that this is interactive work, so you can click on the different elements. Yeah. So just
Okay. Whoa.
play with it, and everybody just can see how it works.
Yeah, maybe that's a good point. So if you guys, I'll paste this in the first cohort as well. Yeah, this looks like fun. Okay. All right. I will leave my mic on and just play with it. But yeah, 3 minutes starting now. Yeah, has anyone clicked on the link and had a play with this yet? It's so fun. Well, I have some observations, so I think I'll just express them. First off, I think this is I love op art. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like optical illusion art, but saturated palettes and very RGB themed early 2000s computer graphics. I love it. I love it. So I wonder if this is like a throwback to something from the 2000s. If you click on anything here, like this hammer, or or the rabbit, they sound. Oh, excuse me. They sound like early 2000 like ringtones. That's what I'm getting, and also it feels contemporary as well. This piece, because I think of things like Magic of Voxel. I don't know if you guys know that, or like even things like Meebits, with their slightly 3D appearance, and yeah, I'd be curious. It reminds me of painting. It reminds me of like movements as well, like old movements like abstract expressionism and surrealism. Like a huge cluster of influences here. But yeah, do you guys have any thoughts?
I love this work. I think it reminds me of PC music aesthetics and like all the sounds. Like I started making this sort of like beat with the piece. I'm gonna actually collect one. Thank you, Vitaly, for introducing me. I'm getting one edition, definitely.
How much are these going for, Vitaly? Okay. Yeah.
Like the car, the blue car on the right diagonal corner on the up is the kick, and then you like the left, the star on the left is the melody. I love it. Like, for me, it's almost like pieces of a sound, like a beat of a track that you have to be constructing it with the clicks.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. I'm impressed with just like the execution of this as well. There's so much. It's animated. It's got a changing gradient in the background, and the rabbit is just flashing with color. I mean, this is so cool. Sorry. Yeah. What does anyone else have any thoughts? I wonder if, I mean, obviously I see a rabbit and I see a guy, with a hammer and a nail. And I'm just wondering what these subjects are depicting. They're there, but I'm not sure why they're there. Add some suspense. Okay, well, Vitaly, I think we need your input.
Yes, thank you, Harry and Philip, for your feedback. It was nice to hear your thoughts about this work. Yes, this is experimental work of mine. I'm doing interactive works on Hikatnang, and how Harry said that it has a lot of influences, because at first I also work in paintings and murals and sculpture, so you can see like composition. It's how you mentioned it resembles you some surrealism or abstract expressionism. So it's like a lot of art influences, because I make paintings in similar compositions. And you know, usually when I make my paintings, I try to depict some idea to about some subjects, and I have my interpretation of my work. When I show it to other people, usually different people give me their interpretations of my work, and sometimes it can be very surprising for me because I didn't expect such interpretations. So in that piece, I decided to experiment with this experience and create the composition without exact meaning from my side. So to give viewer some symbols that together can construct a story unique for every person who looks or interact with this artwork. So, for example, I have my interpretations about this work, but for me, there is no the right or the wrong interpretations. What about this? So it's free for everyone to see something that can see in this work. And of course, you can see some, for example, coffin and the bone who goes inside and out. Yes, and on the right, it's on the right angle. Philip said it's a car. Yes, it's but it's a cloud like.
Oh, it's a
that
cloud.
makes
Okay, cool. Yeah, the cloud's the kick.
yeah, kick is a cloud. It's
Yeah.
because this one. So yes, it's.
Nice. Where are you from?
I'm from Russia, from Saint Petersburg.
Oh, nice to meet you. Nice.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, Philip. And yeah, so it's like it's more about existential piece about life and death, and
Interesting.
yeah.
Right. Well,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I'm just
May
making.
I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
For you, Vitaly, like, do you think that your work has influences of Russian art as well? Because I can see it like from listening to you talking about the work, I can really see like also some kind of like Russian art like influence on it. But or do you think no?
Yes. I think the most influence is avant-garde movement and artists like Kazimir Malevich. If you remember, his series with peasants. He like people working in the field, and I like how he depicted the figures, the person's figures, silhouettes of the
Nice.
human body. Yes,
Yeah.
and of course, when I was teenager, I used to play in video games a lot, like Atari consoles, 8-bit, like Mario games, and it also influenced. And also, I don't have art education, so I have engineering education, and on the first year of my education, we have a lot of technical drawing. So on and at that time I started to make straight lines and geometric forms like this. Yeah, and I started from graffiti. Yes. So I started to make art on the walls on the streets. I was very impressed about the graffiti movement, but never painted letters. I always was interested in characters or some personages. Yeah. So it's a bit about my background.
Nice. It's very interesting to know. Yeah, I was painting walls before I did digital art as well. I'm from
Right.
Brazil, so
That's
here
cool.
like
Yeah.
we have like such a bad relationship to like people painting on the streets. So we would have to go to all these like really abandoned, far away places to get to paint in tranquility. And I
Yeah,
love it when I
yeah.
see graffiti influences in people's works because I love letters myself, and I think they are just such a culture itself. Even in like different parts of the same country, you can have different letters or different sort of styles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the
Mm.
same in Russia. Yeah.
Nice to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Yeah, interesting to hear your backstories, both of you. Yeah, that I'm actually I'm amazed, Vitaly, that you have such a natural flair with this piece. I think for for mark making and art. I just it's very impressive, and I'm I'm going to keep this in mind. So yeah, thank you for sharing your piece with us, and super. I've made a load of notes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, so does anyone else want to go next? If not, I mean, yeah, I can just pick somebody. It's all good. Um, mm, okay, well, perhaps Felipe, do you have a new piece to show? Um,
Yes, sure. I wanted to also like send a new piece and also a picture from a graffiti piece I did about 3 years ago,
right, okay, yeah,
and like this under the space of this abandoned bridge. It's I'm gonna DM you.
yeah, this is exciting. I think whilst I wait, I'm just gonna. Hmm, Thank you. Oh wow, okay. Is the one that you want to show first, Felipe, or if not, I can just show I can show one of them. Actually, I really like this latter one, like the second one. So, right, I'll show this one first. Um, okay. So I will just stop sharing, and then I shall. All right. So, if I'm not mistaken, Felipe, this is called dactyl.
Yeah, it's called Dactyl.
Dactyl. Okay. So, yes. Can you guys see this? Okay. Or it's not. Is it glitchy at all? Or...
For me, it's okay.
All right. Super. So yeah, we'll give this 3 minutes. Just make some notes, and yeah, we'll clock in after 3 minutes. Okay, starting now. All right, so does anyone have any immediate thoughts about dactyl? If not, it's all good. I have a few observations. So I this is an abstract piece. I know Felipe was in the last session on Friday, so I won't give too much away. But when I look at this, firstly, it is an abstract piece, but I also see something which resembles a river or somewhere near a reservoir. Because if I look at these marks here, like this, it looks like grass, firstly, and because they are scratched on top of the surface of what looks to be something that moves like water, or just has something a similar texture to it. That's what I immediately think of when I see this, or perhaps a dream of some kind, like just something like this. And I suppose finally, this reminds me a lot of traditional painting. I feel like it's a digital render, but I've seen this done a lot where people get the back of a paintbrush and just the thinnest part, the wooden end, and they dip it in a bright color, and just at the end of a painting, they just make a quick mark, like a very light swish. And yeah, I think this reminds me of physical painting as well. But yeah, I'm interested to know what you guys think.
Yeah, at first, when Harry showed us this piece, I didn't understood is it physical or digital artwork, because it's when you see it from distance without zooming, it's look like abstract painting with a lot of texture working. So a lot of layers of paint and techniques, and for example, we've talked about Philippe's background. He also painted on the walls. So I've seen some instruments like spray paint or some
Right.
yes, on the bottom of the piece, and some it's like a lot of different techniques when artists try to achieve some texture, a lot of different textures. Yes, and if we talk about impression of this piece, it reminds me some dark atmosphere, moody. It's I don't know what it exactly. I see some images like the skull, or maybe something from Gig, Alien movie. You see on the left the yes, this arc of it's like a tail of the
Oh yeah, I
of
see
the
it.
alien. Yeah.
Okay.
And on the bottom of the piece, I see clearly like flower on the
Yes,
right.
yes, well observed.
Yeah,
I saw this too. Yeah,
y-
that was
yeah,
cool.
and
That
yeah, and yes, when I was looking for it for a few minutes, yes, it's a lot of images about something dark, moody, not very happy, like this atmosphere and emotions. And also, I like how Philip works with. So he uses some blurry elements and also puts some clear cut like white dots on the front of the, if you zoom, so there is blurry elements on the background and some clear cut like yeah. So it's very detailed.
Actually, this looks like I don't know if any of you guys played Halo, but this reminds me of the the home page for Halo, like a spaceship, something like this. Sorry, nerdy moment. But yeah, Felipe, could you let us know like what's happening here?
Yeah, of course. I think well, first, like I think Giger is a very big influence in me. Like he's been one of like my I wouldn't say favorite artist, like because I don't think there is such a thing with me because I enjoy like many different types of work, but Giger is
Which artist is this? Sorry.
HR Giger is this
Right.
our artist who developed this biomechanical style of airbrushing, and then he moved on to concept art for movies like Alien and other movies, and
Interesting.
um, but yeah, I see my work as really just all the work I do, even in painting or whether it's digital, as really collage based, but in a way is always sort of a mixed media collage because it will happen in different sort of dynamics for every piece, and I don't really plan most of the time what I'm doing. I don't really have like um an initial idea. None of the times which I start working, and I have been working like this for quite some time, and I can say it's sometimes as it has an element of a leap, of jump when you have um this blank surface on the start of a work in front of you and you have um no plan with it, but in a way while it's being executed it just starts to build this narrative around itself, and I just kind of follow it, I follow it through the end, and when I think I'm finished with it, and then I can see it clearly, I like the story that it's telling me. But I think that Vitaly said one thing about his piece which I kind of identify with as well, which is I think there's many kinds of way of looking at it, and I've always been like such a big fan of things that are like pareidolik, in the sense that you look at these you can say everyday objects or even abstract painting, and you can see faces or shapes or um, things that might resemble mechanics or human body. So in that sense, I'm always looking for that. I'm always looking for that fusion between the digital and the organic, and trying to emulate that with many sort of techniques. So I might even one day print the homepage of Halo and use it in one of my pieces. Who knows? So I'm always like deconstructing archive images and textures. I could even, I mean, I work a lot with scanning and just anything. I'll use anything from text like to like a cell phone picture, and I'll just throw everything in there, no matter the resolution, no matter anything like that, and it just starts to build itself by its own. So this is pretty much how this piece was made as well, but it's still a work in progress. I would say it's not a finished piece, but I thought I'd bring this because it's a piece that I'm thinking about, releasing this week, minting, and it's gonna be a one-of-one edition. So just thought I'd share in that way, and I love the interpretations of it. Would love to hear what anyone else has to say.
Yeah, does anyone have anything to give Felipe? Any other interpretations?
If not, that's okay too. No problem.
Yeah, I agree with Vitali. For the first time I saw it, remind me of H.R. Giger, one of my favorite artists too, from Alien. Yeah, I think this is messy but beautiful. That's it. Good work, Felipe.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah, yeah, Felipe. I mean, you're making work so quickly, and it's really great to see. Um, I'd feel like this is finished. That's just my opinion. But I can't really comment on artistic process. Um, but it's interesting how you guys you've kind of come to conclusions about what's the name of this artist from Alien? How do you spell his name? Like I feel like I heard it wrong. HR something.
H.R. Giger, Gigar.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
'Cause I think I did see like a short bit of a documentary about Alien and the concept work behind it, and it was really dark, like just like the the darkest parts of your mind kind of stuff. But it's interesting how you've all kind of come to that same conclusion. Um, how that's running through Felipe's work, and how I think within the cohorts that there is a tendency for abstract work and like just leaving things open to interpretation. And it's cool how you all share this kind of understanding, even if you don't talk about it whilst making the work. So yeah, I'm excited for this to be minted, Felipe. And I think if there's any time at the end, we can look at your mural piece as well.
Yeah,
Um,
sure, of course.
cool, cool.
Yes, no problem. Thank you,
Yeah, but
everyone.
thank you. And I say one last thing. This because this maybe it's just a Scottish thing, but I think of like the Loch Ness monster when I see the tail. I don't know, but yeah. All right. So thank you, Felipe. So
Thank
does
you,
does,
Harry.
does anybody want to go next? Or I can pick. It's up to you. Hey, Boya. Maybe do you want to go next? Okay, I get. Oh, Boya, are you interested in going next or? It's cool. It's cool. Maybe because I haven't spoken to Waragwag in I think like a month or something. Um, maybe you could go next. Is that okay?
Okay, I'll just send the keys in the first cohort.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
thank you, Boya, for sending through the Wikipedia link for HRG Geisha. Interesting guy. His art style is known as
I think he's a portal in my vision. It's like a
a,
portal.
a portal.
Yes.
I'm not. Oh right, okay. Yeah, I'm just looking. It's interesting. He's kind of made an art style known as biomechanical. That's very interesting.
Yes, I
Biomechanical.
kind of love that concept. Biomechanical, I think, is very interesting.
Hmm. All right. So, yeah. Thank you, Waragwag. I'll just end my screen share and just change it to. All right. So, yeah. So if we give this 3 minutes and we'll all check back with feedback. All right. 3 minutes starting now. All right, so what do you guys think's happening here? Yeah, I mean, with Waragwag's work, I'm always looking at it from like 5 different angles, but I want to hear what you guys think.
I can start with my
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah, please.
Okay, at first, I just share my thoughts in the order they appeared in my head when I was looking at the piece. At first, it resembles me some like architecture of the future, like this is some cubes, some flats or buildings connected each other, and something dramatic happening, like the right part is moving is moving away, and it's destroyed itself, or some force is pulling it away. So we see a lot of destruction and debris of it. Also, it resembles me like whole composition with black and white stripes on the background, like it's some photo studio, like the white color is lights from background, and I don't know, it just some this black lines, it's just like some wires, or I don't know what is it, and like it's like studio shot from the photo studio set. I don't know where is I'm very curious what is it's like a pizza or I don't know, on the bottom, in the bottom of the piece, on the black background.
Yeah,
It's
that is
it's
interesting, isn't it?
yes, I'm very curious what is it because I don't know. Yes, and it's also like I thought about something dividing. For example, it could be metaphor for dividing people or countries or nation. So people like something divided. I don't know.
That's a really interesting look on this piece. I didn't get that, but that is interesting about. I suppose this is like a piece of architecture, and if it's being broken away, that could have some worldly implications going on there. And yeah, that's what's happening in the background. I noticed that. I was thinking, what did I write here? I literally wrote what is happening in the background, and I think, Vitaly, I think your description of it being a studio is a really a better guess than mine. It does remind me. It reminds me of like metaverse architecture too, like you said about architecture. And I was speaking to Untitled XYZ last week, and I was looking at his pieces, and it reminds me very much of that. And I'd be interested to know, like, this is such a. I mean, I know like Waragwag's work from the first time I saw it. It's very, it's got a lot of detail in it. So I saw these trees within this construction, and I was wondering why is that there? And secondly, I don't know if you guys were familiar with this. There was like a game in the UK in like the late 80s and 90s that you could get for children, and you can get all of these rectangular slots, and they're similar colors to these, and you can slot them together, and you can make constructions like that. But if it goes wrong, or if you don't put the elements together in the right way, then it collapses. So this also kind of threw me back to childhood. And yeah, I'm curious to know finally. It looks like paper. It looks like a paper construction. And I'm wondering why is it exploding? I think that's my question. But yeah, does anyone else have any initial thoughts for Waragwag? If not, it's all cool.
Hi guys, can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, sorry for
Hello.
everyone. So, what this piece speaks to me is sound for some reason. It feels like
Hmm.
it's I almost feel like it's some kind of a sound that's this destroying the structure, but also it's not I don't feel like it's destroyed. I feel like it's changing shapes. And it's due to some sound, and I can imagine it in my head, but I cannot see it, which is so fun.
Hmm. That's interesting. Yeah. So can you hear what is this sound that you hear? Is it an angry one, or is it, I don't know, a less a less explosive sound?
I think because of the bright colors, the pops of bright colors, I don't feel like it's a bad sound. I don't feel like something bad's happening in this image. I feel like it's like when children would drop things just to see how they sound or what they would do. Cats also do this. They pick stuff of
Yes, they
of
do.
tables and everything because they want to see what happens. And it has this kind of playful feel to it. But the sound is probably something that you would hear in a Denis Villeneuve movie. Do you know the visceral sounds?
Mm. Yeah, that's a really good point. That's interesting. Yeah, sound is a very interesting element to this piece. Yeah, thanks, Boya. So, yeah, Waragwag, can you tell us?
Yeah. Hey, that was really interesting. Your all of your interpretations, especially Vitali's interpretation of like there's something separating countries or separating people, and also Borya's sound. That one is quite interesting. But anyway, the backstory to this um, piece is that um, most of my work that is quite um, get noticed in Hikatnog is all about these clusters of boxes, which are like like apartment buildings or parts of buildings that are like dancing. So
Mm.
for quite some time now, I got quite stuck in that kind of work, and I can't seem to get out of it. So I tried to create a piece that not like I want to destroy it and find out what actually will become of it. It not really totally destroy as in they all disappear, but maybe spread them out and then let it reconstruct itself. So yeah, like Boria said, it's not really being destroyed. It's like it's taking in another form. Oh, and Vitali's question about what is that thing at the bottom? Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just actually another cluster of this. It's sort of like a town, so it's like something apart. Yeah, but it looks like some kind of brain right now.
I thought it looked like coronavirus
Oh yeah,
in the
yeah,
background.
that's
That
true.
that's interesting. So these pieces, they're kind of like little planets. I feel like that's one planet over
Mm,
there.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So these clusters, they kind of look like satellites or like planets. Because they like sort of like a whole made up
hmm,
of small pieces. Yeah, yeah.
interesting. I am just making so many notes. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, that's it's interesting to hear about your practice, how this is clearly your style. Um, and instead of I agree with this. Like, you shouldn't have to change your style entirely to make new work, but all you need to do is just take another look from a different angle. And yeah, reconstruction is a very interesting way of making more art out of what you think is the same thing, but it is slightly different. But yeah, you've done it again, Waragwag. It's really interesting. I mean, there are so many elements going on in this piece, like yeah, noise and what's happening in the back, and why is it exploding, and multiple things happening. It's really fascinating. So, is this minted? Is it on any
No,
platform?
it's not minted yet. I'm planning to do a series of like 5. So probably
Hmm,
yeah, do it
interesting.
maybe this week. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, make sure to put the link in the cohort chat.
Mm,
That'd be very fascinating to see. But
okay. Yes. Yes. I'll do that.
awesome, awesome. But yeah, thanks, Waragwag. That's really cool.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
yeah. All right. So yeah, Boya, I don't know if you fancy going next. It's up to you.
Yeah, I can absolutely go next. Thanks.
Woo.
So very I was really worried about what I was going to show you guys. I didn't have any idea because I'm working on several things at a time, as one usually does. And suddenly I felt like I wanted to show you my Arium space that I'm building. It's very
Oh,
simple. It's very very simple, but it's supposed to be the backdrop of what I'm working on as a collection. And yeah, I'm going to post the link to it in the chat.
thank you. Yeah. We had an Arium piece last week actually with Kalen and Walt. Yeah, so this will be really interesting. All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, again, this is just how cool. This is so cool just to see where everyone's putting their work and making it. You know, this wouldn't happen in traditional art world stuff. It would, well, in their context. So I'll share my screen. But if anyone wants to, oh, actually, if anyone wants to jump in Arium, then they're more than welcome. This is fun. Oh, someone's already in there. Okay, okay, let's do this. Okay, you can see my face. All right, so let's go. Wow. All right, so I'm gonna turn off my mic in Arium and on Discord for 3 minutes, and yeah, let's see what we think. 3 minutes starting now. All right. So, firstly, this is really fun to see everyone hanging out in Arium. But does anyone have any initial thoughts about what's going on here? Or does it remind you of anything? Anything? Any references here?
It doesn't really remind me of anything, but it's really cool. I mean, I like the fact that the ground is not solid,
Mm.
and from up here, I mean, I'm up the pyramid to actually try to see the whole map from the top. And I don't know if anyone knows about this kind of old game, not really old, but kind of old game called Serious Sam.
I don't.
As far as references, it reminds me of a little bit of that game, but just slightly. But it's a very original space. I'd love to hear more about Borea, the
Yeah.
building process, and
You
how
know,
is it going?
what was the name of that game called again?
Serious Sam.
Siri SM. Could you paste like a link, like a Wikipedia thing in the cohort? I'd be curious because
Yeah.
thank you, because I think I'm a nerd, like but I think there's in the early 2000s for PlayStation 1 there was like a developer kit and it was called like Net Your Rose, and
Yes, I know about that one.
you know it.
Yes,
So
of course. It's like almost like developer's disc, right? Where you would like access these like demo. Yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, I'm getting strong influences from that, and
Yeah.
if not that, then I'm thinking like just early 2000s video games or something of that kind. I suppose on a symbolic level, I also think of like what is the significance of they're not, are they palm trees? Like palm trees, and also why are we looking into the horizon here? And it's almost like an eclipse taking place. And when I see this, again, I think of like manga or something in a comic medium, and I think of perhaps meditation or some form of like spiritual awakening happening. But yeah, I do also appreciate that it's this isn't 100% built, so it could change. Yeah, but does anyone have any other comments? This is seriously cool, by the way. Oh, okay. So, sorry, Baber. I've just seen your message in the cohort. Um, I'll just read it out for everyone. I get the feeling this is neither the construction nor the destruction of anything. It reminds me of that quote that nothing is created, nothing's destroyed, all is transformed. I see a never flow. I think that might. Oh, that was in reference to the previous piece. Sorry, sorry, Baber. I didn't see it. But that is a very good piece, and it's a very good point. I see a never-ending flow of energy. Interesting.
And I want to share that these geometric forms reminds me some ships, like 3 ships or 3 yachts from the future meet together in this point of space.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah. To me too. It has a sort of like fallen object atmosphere to it, like almost like these things have like fallen into this place and now they're just resting for eternity here. Sort of an Evangelion concept to it a little bit.
Yeah,
Say.
yeah.
Like the ending movie where like there's a giant ray and they're just like in this space river.
Yeah. So I mean, I also just like the color scheme that's going on, like this like zinc white and this ultramarine blue. It's very surreal. But I think we've perhaps spoken enough. Boya, can you tell us more?
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for seeing the space. It's the first time I'm seeing it with other people in it, and it's quite fascinating. And you're exploring it exactly as I meant it to be explored so far, because it is being built. And Harry, what you said about it being a meditation and spiritual feeling, it does. Building an Arium space, the sky. So you upload an image, and it wraps up around the sky,
Hmm.
and to be a base one of it. And I couldn't even feel myself moving, even though I'm walking and jumping to anchor myself to, if that makes sense. And so I put a tree on, and I really enjoyed the idea of trees in surreal spaces. It's I don't know if anybody saw Dune yet, the latest version.
Not yet,
It's
not
with
yet.
a few palm trees that are that I'm this so the trees in their existence were very specific. And since they took so much resources to use, to just not have them because they're so draining of resources.
Mm.
Then the person who was taking care of them said it's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to these trees are sacred, and they have to be nourished no matter what it takes. And somehow I feel like these are the trees here, but every tree represents something else. But I'm not thinking too much of them as much as the the actual way that they look and where they are positioned. If you wish, what I can do is I can share my screen and show you some views that I've looked for.
Okay. Yeah, I will start my stream. Uh, do you have permission? I think you have permission to do that. Yeah, awesome.
Okay, so let me see how to do this. Okay, lovely. So this is the start. And this was the first tree. This was the first one I placed. This was ground zero, the where you spawned in the start at the start. And the
Mhm.
idea was that you would look at from here, and you would see the other tree. And I really enjoy these large spaces underneath with the ultramarine. They create very specific frames of reference to things, which are going to be filled with things sooner or later.
Okay.
And also, uh, and also somehow I feel like um, this just building this gave me a lot of insight on how I wanted to my project to be and what to be to to include actually. And there is something weird. I don't know if somebody else noticed it because I'm learning Blender for the first time, and there are moments when I don't know what's happening, but there are these niches inside that I didn't plan to be there, but they're super awesome. It's like little rooms that have spawned by themselves over here, and I'm definitely thinking of using them somehow. But I will not say that they are there. So whoever finds them, and I guess you will now. So don't spoil the secret.
Yeah, no, I won't spoil the secret.
And yeah, that's exactly how I build it, like a game. I do all my work somehow playfully. I don't think that it takes itself seriously, but speaks about serious things in a very, you know, fun way. In a way, I don't think that attaching too much seriousness to a already serious situation is going to resolve much, but giving it some thought, laughingly maybe, is better, I suppose.
Yeah. You know, Baber has just 5 minutes ago posted some feedback. So she says this piece, what they say, sorry, I don't know. This piece reminds me of the nature of reality of it. It seems like I'm exploring perceived reality versus materialistic version of it. To me, it symbolizes the relative malleability of our reality, which is interesting. It does. This space does feel like a reality that you can only envision in your mind. So that is a very good piece of feedback, Baber, and yeah, I suppose our changing perception of if we can envisage it in Arium, then I don't know, the sky's the limit, and that there is a different nature to reality in this space. So yeah, Boya, this is so interesting. Like I just we do get like generative pieces in here, and we get like Blender renders, and I actually saw in your browser you were looking at like creative coding. I think, is that the one with Tim Rodenbroker? Because I tried looking at that too, if it is.
It's actually our class with Sable Ruff. We had that
Oh, right.
class, I think on I think half a month ago, but there's so much going on and there's so much to learn that I just get around to doing it now. It's very, very spectacular for me. I always see the new techniques and new softwares. I always see them. How will they connect to what I'm already wishing to present and to create? And
Hmm.
I always feel like every time I learn something, every time I'm um, shown something, either by finding it randomly online or by meeting it via another artist, I always feel like it's exactly the thing that had to happen so that I can finish the piece properly. And I don't know if somebody else has that, but I'm pretty sure that's how the universe laws work.
Yeah, it just hits the creative spot totally. Yeah, and kudos to you for trying to learn Blender. I tried doing that earlier this year. It's another language, but yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you so much, Boya. That was really interesting. I'm gonna check on this afterwards as well. Yeah.
Is it okay if I just jump in to mention something to Felipe about his work? That's
Yeah.
when my microphone
Totally.
dropped and I couldn't say anything. Um,
Sure.
so, Felipe, your piece made me feel like I'm in a forest and like the forest ate the future.
Damn.
And also, I also felt disruptive about it, but it was an allure to the disruption. It was like a natural state of things, and I was allured to see what will happen after things change. Thanks. And thanks everybody for visiting my space. I can't wait to work more on it and to show you more.
Mm. Yeah. That was some really cool feedback just there, for Felipe. All right. So, I don't know who would like to go next. Baber or Will? Oh, do we have any volunteers? All right. I'm guessing perhaps Will next. Might be cool. Okay. Well, perhaps Naomi. I think you were just listening in on Friday, which is totally fine. Oh, Will sent me a message. Oh, okay, Will. Sorry. Okay. We'll get through Will. This is going to be good. So let me just load up the piece. I'll also send this to you guys as well, just in the cohort whilst I'm loading it. All right. I'll share my screen. And if I just, there we go. And there we go. All right. So this looks really cool already, but I won't say any more. Okay, so 3 minutes starting now. All right. So yeah, this is really interesting to me. I want to hear what people think first, though, and then I'll pitch in. Does anybody know who the subject is, or I guess this reminds me a lot. I literally just finished watching Midnight Gospel on Netflix. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this, but I'm getting a lot of influences from that, and I'm also getting a sense of illustration from from shows like Adventure Time, which I never watched, but I can appreciate, and also kind of like video game reference. The where is he now? There he is. like a Super Mario reference down here. And I just wonder, it feels I cannot remember the name of the artist who does he did artwork for Kanye in like his early days, but it reminds me of that artist too. It feels very Eastern, like very Japanese. But yeah, my main questions are who is this person, or if it is a person, and why are they made up of these various illustrated elements? But yeah. Any ideas?
Yeah, I don't know what is going on. This piece, I see a character and one main character, and he and a lot of small characters around him. So on the left, we see his eye on the left top corner, and next to it, I see a magnet, like magnet with tooths, and small energy signs. So it's like he's attracting some thoughts like magnet to his head, and a lot of small characters on the bottom of his shirt, but I don't know what is going on. So it's dynamic, something is happening, but I wonder what is about.
Yeah. I mean, I'd also say that just like with everyone's pieces so far, like I suppose that the meaning doesn't always have to come first, but the experimentation can be just as important. It doesn't, I suppose it doesn't really have to mean anything, but I feel like this is a playful piece of work. So perhaps that's what's taking charge here. Okay. Well, Will, could you possibly enlighten us? This is a really cool piece.
Thank you. Thank you, Harry and Vitali. Actually, this is about skull. This is I inspired by Day of the Dead from Mexico.
Ah.
Yeah. That Day of the Dead festival from Mexico. So I think if I remember, I only have one life. I don't know about you. We will die someday. Yeah, we will die someday. We become skull someday. But at least we can become a cool skull. So it means we already fulfill our life. We already reach our dream. We enjoying our life. So if we all die or become skull, we just become cool skull. And about the reference, yes, that's right, Harry. I inspired by the artist by Kos. Kos is the artist design the Kanye West album. Yeah, and also from Super Flat Movement from Takashi Murakami.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. And also I love anime. Anime is so big on my country. I love when my childhood I watch it every Sunday morning. That's it. That's the character there, the Doraemon, the cat robot from the future, the Doraemon. That's the character there. But it's the main theme is about skull, all about skull. I make it this collection about 100 pieces skull. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Vitaly, you're right. That is the magnet. Actually, magnet and also the letter C. You can
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see
you
that.
can see to be to C to be S is a resemble of too cool to be skull. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, so this is a character from an anime. Is that right?
No.
Oh,
Just the skull. Just the skull.
oh,
I
okay.
just making it all the pieces spontaneously. I just follow my mind. That's it. Yeah, I just put everything on my mind.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, respect. This is a really nice illustration we have here, and I'm glad I was accurate on the Murakami reference. And thank you for naming the artist too. But this is a very playful piece, and I'm going to be honest. I didn't pick up straight away on the Day of the Dead, but I don't know. Maybe that could inspire some perhaps more direct Mexican imagery within the piece. But that's just my opinion. I don't know if anyone has any feedback for Will just now.
It's very fun, and I couldn't help but notice there is a cat on the lower left
Oh,
corner,
it's a cat.
which
Oh, there's a cat.
at
No,
least I feel like it's a cat. I don't know if it is, but
that is a cat.
these ears are unmistakable. And I love the playfulness of this piece, and what it tells me personally is that it talks to me about the rich life of every person. You know how this buddy that we're looking at here, he's deep into his world. He has lots of things that are um, sometimes fun, sometimes are secretive, or maybe something scary. Who
Mm.
knows? But it's a very rich world. And I feel like when we were children, we would always think that this would be the world for us, very rich with everything that we can imagine. And this brings me back to this belief and this powerful mindset that you can actually be rich of life. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point. Rich in life and expressed through art. This, um, yeah. Well, I mean, Will, I can tell that you're a clearly creative person and you have a creative mind. And what Boya just said comes through this piece as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Boria. I just follow my mind. I just want to make art like a childlike artwork. That's it, and colorful.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, is this minted yet? Oh no, it's on OpenSea. It's yeah, it's on OpenSea.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Super. Well, thank you so much, Will. That's a really cool artwork, and yeah, I can't wait for your next piece.
thank you.
Okay, so I guess we have 15 minutes left. Maybe just a little over as well. But does anybody want to go next? So I think we've got Baber and I wonder if Naomi's actually one of the VCA group for recording the call, but I honestly can't remember. But if either of you would like to go next, that would be cool. If not, it's also cool. We can just talk. Hmm.
I have a question about Will's work
Yeah.
because it's after he explained the meaning about his work, it's totally I got a totally different perspective on it. And my question is, there is a description in the description section. I don't see if there is some text about this work. Okay, yeah.
100 pieces available. It's a challenge for me to make 100 pieces because I'm not good at... You are good at portrait drawing. Okay, right. Yeah.
Okay, yes, because for this particular piece, I think it's very helpful for collectors to get some idea what the meaning behind this piece, so to get more understanding. It's nice that there are some thoughts about it in the description.
Yeah, it's good to reflect on the piece once we've kind of got a sense of what's going on. Okay. Yeah. Super. Let me just check. So I think unless I'm just checking the cohort chats, I think we might nearly be done. But yeah, perhaps let's just have 10 minutes to just talk. So how many pieces are you guys making this week? Or how often do you make pieces? Is it like once a week or is it once every 2 weeks? I'd be interested to know.
Yeah, my working flow for the interactive works that I presented on this critique session is usually take me a lot of time, or about 1 week, because at first I make a sketch, after I animate it, then I search or create some sounds for it, and after I make some coding to make it interactive. So yeah, it took a lot of time, and for the few last weeks I'm learning P5.js after we had 2 classes about generative art with Rafael, and I'm totally absorbed in the learning process. So last week I didn't create anything but learning.
Interesting. Yeah, Vitaly, I'd be interested because I don't think I asked this properly for your work. How do you go about collecting the sounds? You know, when we clicked on different areas, how do you make those sounds?
Yeah, for some sounds, for example, when you click on the coffin, you hear some wood knocking sound, and this one I got from there is freesound.com website, and you have you can search for free license to use it in any project. So I make I search some sounds from that library, and some sounds that, for example, like bass kicks, or some when you click on the character, some musical sounds. I just created in just just use some software for making music, choose some notes or synthesizers, just create some sounds and make a small MP3 file with this sound.
Interesting. Yeah, that's so yeah. So you find stock sounds, and that's how you construct the noise. Huh.
Yeah, some from stocks and some from software for music, for creating music,
Mhm.
creating music software. Yeah.
Really? Yeah, it's interesting how there's that part of your practice too, as well as the art creation. There's also the sound, and that's something different entirely. Like, yeah, but Boya, I'm interested to know how long it's taken you to make that Arium space.
So far, it's not so long. I since I kind of work a lot, but I work from home and I also am working standby. I have a lot of free time while I'm working, if that's understood.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's what
understood.
when I do it. But so far, I've had several sessions of just tinkering with things. And the reason why I chose Blender, I remember that you said something about Blender. The reason why I chose it is because in the YouTube channel of Arium Spaces, they have a video, a 30-minute video on how to import models into Arium Space.
Huh.
And they actually took something made in rhinoceros, that's the model, and then imported it in Blender because there is some kind of a way to reduce the polygons of the object, and it was
Sure.
very cool. And also, Arium Spaces just uses GLB files, and Blender has the option to create those. So I just decided, okay, I'm just going to learn that instead of the others. And I only have, I actually used to do generative art in, I think, 2014.
Wow. Early.
I had some work in my university. It was just starting to appear, and that's how I learned to do 3D art basically. But at some point, I had to buy a stronger computer, and I didn't have money for it. So, very sad but true. And I wasn't able to go back to these more more resource consuming softwares until last year, and now
Hmm.
I'm just so interested to check out the new stuff that's come out. And Blender seems very intuitive, and I really like it, and it's very easy to master. I think not that I'm a master, but it feels like it's very intuitive to do, and that's why I'm using that one. And what I did for the Arium space was I actually did um, one piece of model, and I'm just playing around with it so far in the Arium space. That's the same model that I've imported, but the spaces have a real cool inbuilt editor as well. So it's really
Hmm.
fun. It's like, oh my god, I'm creating a world that I'm taking a walk in, and I really enjoyed the factor of community over there. It's something that's much better than just somebody entering a space and being able to look at it. But now that there are people around you, it's sort of lots of fun. But it
Yeah.
doesn't. But it's really easy. It's really easy. If I can do it, I'm sure everybody can because it's very intuitive. The builder of Arium spaces. I still don't know how to change the jumps. I want to be able to jump as much as possible. It would give you the feeling of flying, which is perfect for that space. And I still don't know how to do it, but I'm probably going to ask them.
Yeah. So I think you guys might have had a session with Untitled XYZ, but he really enjoys
Yes.
Arium. Yeah, yeah, he really enjoys it. And I had no idea you could just import is it GLB files?
Yes.
Yeah, that's so easy, I guess, technically speaking. Um, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So that's so interesting. I didn't realize. To me, that looks like it's taken much longer than you said it took. Like I thought that might have taken months and months. Um, hmm. Yeah, Arium is very fun though. I do enjoy
Yes.
just walking around. People's voices get quieter as you step away, and then louder when you get close to them. Hackatow's work in there was really exciting with Hack of a Bear. Um,
Yes, for sure.
yeah, that was really fun. Um, Interesting. Yeah, I would love to see that your work again, Boya, with like zero gravity. That would be so fun.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. So I think this might be today's session, but thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I really enjoy your company, and all of your artwork each week is just so. I'm really intrigued every single week, because everyone's work is so different, and there's so much effort put into your work, and you're all very, very talented artists. And I hope the feedback that we've given you has given you slight different views on your work, or how you might want to communicate things, perhaps a different way than what you thought initially. And hopefully there will be more of these sessions. So just keep an eye out in your cohort chats, and yeah, let's have some more fun. But I hope you have a nice rest of the day as well, and take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you,
It's
Harry.
really cool to share this space. It's very, very beautiful and valuable. And wishing everybody a super inspired new week ahead.
Yeah, that's the spirit. All right, guys. Well, have a good one, and yeah, let's see each other again really soon. Okay.
Thank
See
you
you
very
guys.
much.
See you guys. Bye.